Yo, 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 what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy Pod, presented to you by DSM Media, as well as your host, myself, the Slimster. You can follow me on X at R2R30111. And you can follow your other hosts here at Scotty Drown. And as well as you guys are watching from the X page at To the Galaxy Pod, make sure you guys come over to the YouTube channel and comment and subscribe to that as well so we can read you guys, comment, and engage with you guys. But no, man, today should be a great pod. We got some very interesting, fun topics to dive into. The LeBron talk out there. Is he going to stay a Laker? Talking about the top free agent that's left remain out there on the board, as well as discussing the free contract extension with Paolo and Chet. So nonetheless, it's going to be fun. But before we dive into any of that, my guy Scott, how you doing on this fine Wednesday evening, my brother? I know
Yeah,
you're pretty
Wednesday.
good.
Wednesday it is, brother. Happy hump day, my man. We to the midweek. It's been kind of a slow week up until today. Today was busy, but we take it, we move. It's another day on Earth. We're blessed to be here. So yeah, I'm happy to be here on the pod with you, brother. Talk some NBA. Not enough summer league going on to go there, but we will get into that soon. Hopefully they turn it up a notch in Vegas. We get some real action.
For sure, for sure.
Remaining free agent. I wrote a list down, but I mean they aren't this high caliber list of free agents out there. There's not much left,
Yeah,
but the restricted free agents, I think that's where a lot of the stories are. And I know you're
yeah,
familiar. I'm familiar. We got
yeah,
two situations going on with our squad, so
yeah,
um,
exactly.
should be a fun show, though, brother.
Yeah,
How you
nonetheless.
feeling today, though?
Oh no, I'm feeling great, man. It's my off day, man. I'm excited to do the pod with you, man. Shout out to the people on TikTok, man. You guys have been showing a lot of love over there. I know you hit me up this morning about that, but no, shout out to those guys. Probably gonna try to figure out a way we can go live over there because I know we got a nice audience over there for sure. They be tapping in and stuff, so that's
Yeah,
nice. To be able to see the content constantly grow every day. So that's what's
yeah.
up, man. Just got to get these guys to hit the follow button, but
The thing, and I only know this because we were experimenting with this on DSM last like football season because we were
Mhm.
thinking the same thing with TikTok. The only thing with TikTok, and it's really not a TikTok thing; it's a StreamYard thing. StreamYard just doesn't offer connecting to TikTok for some
Mm.
reason. Maybe they changed it though. I'll have to check into that because they do have like the AI automated shorts and reels and stuff, and you can post
Mhm.
those directly to TikTok. So
Yeah.
we'll have to look into that. But yeah, to your point, like TikTok, there's a whole community over there that we're not able to reach with the live stream, which would just be so much fun, bro, for
I'm
sure.
telling you, man, for sure. But no, man, I'm doing good. But let's dive right into it, man. The
Yeah,
NBA, the
let's
top
do it.
free agents that's left out there. Free agent that I can think off the top of my head, you got Al Horford, Westbrook, Chris Paul, Josh Giddey, Cam Thomas, Kaminga, Quinn Grimes. Am I missing anybody here? I think that was like the top free agents off the top of my head, anyway.
You said Chris Paul,
Yeah, Chris Paul,
Chris Paul,
Russ.
Al Horford, Chris Boucher. Yeah. You pretty much hit all the nails on the head. Russ, I think Malcolm Brogdon's still out there somewhere as well. It's interesting when you look at the list. It's like, are these guys still like notable free agents? You have to ask that about some of them, right? Like Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and Malcolm Brogdon. And I'll even throw this to you, man. Like looking at this list and thinking about the Sixers before they re-signed Kyle Lowry, which man, like just a waste of a roster spot, bro. Like I'm so over that. Russell Westbrook, man, I was looking at him. I was like, is there any like financial capability that we could bring Russ in on the Sixers to be like a true point guard? He would bring that feel because I feel like we don't have like a true pure point. Who's like a great passer, and then from the rebounding perspective, he could help from the rebounding perspective as a guard. But obviously, they signed back Kyle Lowry. That means there wasn't much room for Russ here in the first place. So Russ is a guy I am keeping my eye on. Actually, I think he's a guy who can contribute. I think he had a great season, quite honestly, from a role player standpoint for the
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets last year. So any guys you're keeping an eye on off this list? I know
Well,
Al Horford. You had the
yes.
rumors to
Yeah,
Golden State.
that's what I'll keep my eye on. Like based on different like sources, I don't know if they're legit or nice. they basically implying that we already have like a handshake deal and play with him. It's just that we got to figure out this Kaminga situation before we kind of just sign him or something. Because I think that if we sign him right now, we'll be in the second apron or hard capped or something like that. But regardless, they saying that we have a handshake deal in place. But there's a lot of like strong, legit sources out there basically saying that it's a done deal, just a matter of time of when it gets announced. But on the flip side of that, I have been seeing that he is interested in retiring as well. So I
Interesting.
don't really know,
Okay.
bro. But that's the
That
only
that
guy I keep my eye on. Really, obviously Kaminga too. But yeah,
that's really interesting because that was where my mind went whenever I threw it to you was that maybe Al Horford is just waiting around and like the longer he's out there, the more signs that signal he will sign with the Golden State Warriors. But if he retires, obviously he's not going to sign as well. So we'll see how that plays out. But Kaminga, how we feeling? I know it's been a couple days. We talked about it last week on the last pod. How we feeling right now? I mean, a lot of talk about signing trades, different things like that.
yeah. Basically, they saying that the Sacramento Kings are the strongest suitor to acquire him in a trade right now. So I don't really know. There's some assets over there that I'm interested in, like Keegan Murray. I feel like it'd be a young prospect, but I doubt they move him. But they offered us a package of like Dario Saric, Devin, I think, yeah, Devin Card and like some picks or something. That's not the best trade to me. So I feel like we can get
Yeah.
something better than that. But they say the Kings are the strongest suitors to get him. So we'll see, man. This may linger on for a few more weeks. I did see that he is to meet with different teams in Vegas this upcoming weekend at Summer League. So maybe they can figure something out there. But we shall see.
What's weird about that with the Sacramento Kings? As we're talking through that, I was looking at their roster, and it's hard to remember all the moves that they've made over the last couple of seasons. They've just completely overhauled their roster, especially from a star standpoint. But they have Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan is still there, right? Like he signed
Mhm.
a multi-year contract with them.
Yeah.
So you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Zach LaVine still there, you got Keegan Murray still there. Where does Kaminga fit in with the weight? Like like that's why he's leaving Golden State is for playing time. So like he can go and start somewhere. I just don't see why he would want to go to the Kings either. You know what I mean? And
But my thing is, if they have to like send one of those guys back, I don't know who it is though.
for money wise, right? Like, and Keegan Murray makes the most sense. They're not going to send.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're
they
not
would
trading
send
him. They
DeMar
shouldn't
DeRozan or
send him.
anything like that. But that's interesting. Keegan Murray. They got Trey Lyles. They got a bunch of different forwards, man. Wings. They're not all good. They're not all great wings, of course. I think Kaminga
Yeah,
could supplant a lot of them, but
for
yeah,
sure.
that's interesting. That's an interesting fit. Quentin Grimes on our side, really
Mhm.
nothing. Nothing. I think the biggest
No
report
type
that
of
came out.
progress being made.
What was that?
No type of progress being made with that.
No, I think it was more or less the report that I saw, and I don't know. I don't remember if it was Shams or not. It was one of the more well known NBA reporters. But basically, the Sixers they've been getting contacted by other teams for potential sign and trade opportunities. It's been talk about teams like the Wizards and stuff trying to dig in their bag to maybe go and make an offer to him. But the Sixers have apparently splashed cold water on all those talks. Literal language use. They're not looking to trade him because they feel very confident that they're going to re-sign him. So just have to hope the market plays out your way, from that perspective. I think
Yeah.
that's similar to what the Bulls are doing with Josh Giddey too, from what I've heard. Who was it that just got a really good contract, very similar to Josh Giddey? It's slipping my mind right now, but he wants money like that said player. I can't think of who it is right now.
Hmm. You say he just got paid?
Yeah, it was like a younger role player. Give me 1 second. I want to
He
find
just
him on
got
the list
paid.
here.
I will say this though, bro. Like with Quentin Grimes, like we'll dive into this topic, but I'm gonna just give like a sneak peek.
Yeah.
With John Collins getting moved though, the Utah Jazz did free up like 20 some million in cap space. So if he's trying to get paid,
Yeah.
they could give him a nice payday.
Yeah, and that's honestly not like a bad fit for him, specifically. There would be room for him to get run there and be a main guy on that team. So it really, I guess through it all, and this is just from Sixers fan perspective, I do wonder what his motives are, like truly are. Like obviously you're gonna go into the offseason, you're a restricted free agent, so you're gonna take everything with a grain of salt, but is it all about money? Is it
Yeah.
all about role?
When,
You know what I mean? Like, what is it exactly about? Is it about winning, like you said? So, it
yeah.
is interesting to see how these players kind of let things play out. But yeah, I'm not seeing the role player that I was talking about.
Did he just recently like get paid or?
It was like during free it might have been Duncan Robinson getting 48 million with the Detroit
Oh,
Pistons.
okay. So basically, like Dennis Schroeder got like a nice deal too, like 45 million
He
for like
did.
4 years. So hey, I will say this though, like
Jakob
a nice,
Podol got a nice deal with Toronto too.
yeah,
He got like over 100 million.
that is just ridiculous to me. I was talking to my coworker about that the other day, man. That makes zero sense, bro. But
So that's
uh,
that's that's what I've been hearing is that Josh Giddey is seeing some of these contracts given out around the league. He wants a contract like that
I
or
don't
better
blame
because
him
he
though.
feels like he's better than those
I
players,
don't
right?
blame him though. Like
Yeah,
Miles Turner, he got paid.
yeah,
Nas Reed just got paid. So I can
yeah.
see why Kaminga and Josh Giddey wants to pay they. Have you been hearing anything about Cam Thomas? Like I haven't heard anything about him.
I haven't. I've seen like a lot of speculation on, the ESPN basketball programs, different things like that, but
Mhm.
nothing's solidified. And the big conversation is, do you give a player like this big money, man? Like you're trying to build like a young core there, and I don't know, man. Like outside looking in, Cam Thomas, he does seem like a jack. Like at the very least, like he likes to get shots up.
Mhm.
I don't know, what his mentality is like, but that's where a lot of the conversation is around. His mentality, his fit going forward. Is he worth the money that he can garner? But I saw your man Draymond Green talking about this shit on is it Threads? I'm not even hip to Threads, so
Mhm.
don't even ask me,
Mhm.
bro. But I
Yeah.
saw him talking about how this second apron, this new CBA, right? This new CBA is just it's killing teams, it's killing free agency, it's killing the hype around free agency,
It
and it's
is.
killing these young guys' opportunities at a
Yeah.
snatch and grab.
To make money, and I absolutely agree with him. Like he's absolutely right, bro. Like it's like to your point, free agency used to be like a hype thing. Man, this shit was over in like 4 days. Like probably less than that. Like all the big free agents, they're gone. Like you still got to figure out that, but
Yeah,
for the most part, it's like a waiting game at this point. Like these guys are trying to get paid right now.
yeah.
And it's like due to the new CBA, teams are limited to go out there and acquire these guys. So once again, you can thank CJ McCollum for that, fellas. He got sent down there to Washington. He's never going to be a winner
That's
in this
punishment.
league. That is punishment. Yeah, to your point there. But no, I agree with Draymond on that, bro. You're absolutely right.
I do too. I actually loved what he said. I think it kind of. I think the question always rises about Draymond as well. Like, why does he get like all these chances when he gets these technicals, whatever, gets kicked out of games, whatever. It's because he does have this side of him as well, and that's the mentor, that's the leadership, that's the teaching these young men how to grow into strong and men that can
Mhm.
protect themselves in a league that's filled with sharks that are just trying to take advantage of them financially. So I did love what he said as a mentor to the rest of the league in that little spiel on Threads.
Yeah,
Shows
it was
shows
nice.
why the Warriors hold on to him so long, man.
Yeah, I
Amongst other
wouldn't.
things.
I wouldn't say all that, but there's a difference off the court and on the court. There's a difference.
Nah, that's facts. Though. That's
But
facts.
no, though, bro. Like one quick thing with the free
Yeah,
agency tag. Let's just say a scenario y'all lose Grimes, right?
yeah.
You want to know what to be the perfect addition to that team, bro? And
The
he should really
Sixers,
cause
or
no the Sixers. Like
yeah,
if y'all
okay.
lose Grimes, I think like Malik Beasley would be a good fit with you guys. Like think about it. Duncan Robinson took his payday. I
Yeah,
don't just see him getting paid by any other team out there, and
yeah.
it's just unfortunate for him. But if he can go take a minimum contract with you guys, try to build his value back up,
Has he
you know,
been
he's done.
cleared? Has he been cleared of the sports bet and shit?
No, he has not been
Okay,
clear.
okay. So we
Let's
got to
just say
wait on that.
if he were to be clear, I
He may
like
be
that take.
cheap though. To
That's
that
what I'm
point,
saying. Like a
maybe cheap.
minimum, you
Yeah,
know.
we
So
need a power forward too, bro. Like I don't
yeah,
know
I
if you've
do.
seen our
I seen
roster.
that. Yeah.
Like I would be open, and I'm not even gassing it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know a ton about Trendon Watford. His play style and what I've seen in clips, he seems like a player that would fit nicely in our starting lineup as a power forward. But I see the numbers, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I've watched a bunch of his film and know him up and down. But he seems like the guy that could start at power forward, at least from my perspective. But they need somebody. Chris Boucher's out there. He's a guy that haven't seen him in a couple years. He showed a little bit of some sparks in Toronto a couple years back,
He's
but
he's solid though. I ain't gonna lie.
he's
Like
solid.
between him and Trey Lyles, that'd be a good fit for you guys.
Trey Lyles is solid too. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's the thing with the Sixers. Like, what happens with Grimes? Are they able to move like a Drummond and Kelly Oubre type of package if they attach, draft compensation to it and maybe get a player back for that? There's some maneuvers that the Sixers can make, but where do you want to take it next, my man? You want to go to the extensions or you want to go to the the latest big trade? I'm not going to say the big trade, the latest
Yeah, let's talk
bigger
about that
trade.
trade. Let's talk about that trade, man. So the Clippers, Jazz, and the Miami Heat have agreed to a three-team trade. The Miami Heat received Angry Norman Powell. The Clippers received John Collins. The Utah Jazz received Kevin Love, Slow Mo, aka Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 Los Angeles Clippers second-round draft pick. Who won this trade, in your opinion, man?
Great question, man. I'm gonna go with the Clippers. I think the Clippers
Okay.
won this one. It was close. I think the Miami fit is pretty decent as well.
Okay.
I think the Jazz getting off that Collins contract. I think that could be considered a W as well. But I think when you
Okay.
look at John Collins and the fit, specifically with James Harden, it just feels like a knockout fit. Obviously, James Harden is a great passer. He's always been able to work with lob threats really well, and I think that's just a seamless fit for him. I think he's gonna help John Collins produce. John Collins maybe revert. Not that he wasn't producing in Utah, it just wasn't being seen, but revert John Collins to more of that Atlanta Hawks form when they were in the postseason and making some noise
Gotcha.
with Trae Young. So yeah, similar to the Trae Young fit. You think of passers, prolific passers in the league, pure passers. That's James Harden. I love that fit. But I do think that Norman Powell is something that the Miami Heat needed after losing
Definitely.
Jimmy Butler.
Definitely.
What about you? What do you think?
Uh, uh, to be honest, bro, I have to agree with you. I think the Clippers definitely won this trade because to me that kind of signals like they all in on getting a guy like Bradley Beal, assuming that he gets bought out. So you
Yeah.
trade a guy like Norman Powell, who's had one heck of a year last year, career has all across the chart, all across the charts. In my opinion, he definitely should have been an All Star. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I definitely voted for him a lot for him to get there, but no, man, like bringing in a guy like John Collins to your point, he had a heck of a season last year. Like he shot almost 40% from the field, 50%. I mean, 40% from 3-point range and 50% from the field, and like 85% from the free throw line. So he had a solid season. But to your point, a lot of people wouldn't know that though, because he was watching like Utah basketball. So just imagine him averaging 19 points last season, and you pairing him alongside a guy like James Harden, a pure playmaker who's going to give him like a lot more easier looks, lob threat, pick and pop, whatever the case may be. So I like the addition. And from like the Miami Heat side of things, like getting a guy like Norman Powell, pretty much for nothing on their end. They just gave up Kyle Anderson, Kevin
Yeah.
Love, and that was it. And you get a 20-point per game score and exactly what you needed. Because bringing in a guy like Norman Powell is going to make Andrew Wiggins and Bam out of the bio job way much easier because now they can just focus on strictly defense,
Yeah.
not more so just offense. So I like the trade for both sides, but I think the Clippers definitely won. And if you Utah, hey, you get off a contract, you free up cap space, and you get a pick in the deal. So it's a
Yeah.
win-win for everybody. But I just think the Clippers
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. I completely agree. And I think when you look at the Jazz perspective of what they got in return, along with the draft comp, right? They got Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson. There's a lot of talk about, Kevin Love potentially being bought out and hitting the market. Maybe Kyle Anderson too. I'm not sure exactly how much, flexibility the Jazz have in that regard, but definitely heard that in regards to Kevin Love. And that's another guy I would throw in that bucket of me being a desperate Sixers fan for a damn power forward. So Kevin Love could be another veteran name out there on the market. But once again, these are these guys from our childhood, man. How good are these players anymore? I'm not trying to disrespect them at all. I'm really asking a serious question, but no, interesting trade nonetheless. I think to your point, you made a great one about the Clippers. They're going all in. Yeah, they're trying to win this shit. And they saw what Kawhi was looking like towards the end of last season, towards the end of the postseason. You got a decent Harden. They just gave him a nice contract. Brought in Brook Lopez. Clippers early in the offseason, I'm not going to say like winners because I think there's other teams out there that have done better, but they're in a group of the top winners of the offseason so far for my money. I like what they're doing.
I think it makes sense for Bradley Beal to go over to the Clippers, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Did he get bought out, or is that the room? Is that like the report?
Like multiple sources, like all signs are like trending that way that he's getting bought out. And if you're Phoenix, you should buy him out because quite honestly, you're not going to trade him. So
exactly.
So. Yeah.
What about while we're just here? What about Dame, man? I know he's still coming back from injury, but have you heard anything about him? Is it even time to think about what Dame could do next?
I haven't really been seeing anything, honestly. Like
me either. Honestly, I'm curious.
His main focus is just getting healthy at this point. So.
Getting healthy. Drop some new shoes, I think. So good luck to him, man.
Yeah, he can drop a few new songs as well. Dame Dollar. So
he's got time.
Yeah, he got time. For sure.
It's interesting though, just thinking about where he could ultimately end up, man. But big extensions this week, bro. For some, correct me if I'm wrong. Chet and Paolo, same draft, right?
Yeah.
Or am I tripping? They were 1 and 2 picks, right?
Same draft because Jabbar Smith Jr. got paid about a week ago, so it's all the same.
All three got paid. Yeah, you're right. Jabari Smith. So where do you want to start with those? Who do you want to start with?
Let's pick it off top of the head, man. Let's talk about Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
He has agreed to a 5-year maximum rookie contract extension that could potentially reach up to $287 million. Like that's a lot. But this deal includes a player option, the first for a rookie max since Luka and Trae Young. Man, let's talk about it.
That's
man. To me, bro, I feel like this is he earned this. Like, he's the franchise player, and he's got a lot of more potential to get to. Like, you see the growth with him last season. Like, before he went down with injury, though, like, he started the season out pretty hot. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But he got hurt, and then he came back kind of, like, not the same. But he still finished the season out pretty strong. But nonetheless, though, I think that this is the right move to make. You now have your core guys for like the next 3 years, like Paolo, Franz, and Jalen Suggs, and even Desmond Bain you could throw in that conversation. So you have all those guys on the contract for the next 5 years. But nah, man, I like this move for sure. Like, I'm gonna get your comments on it, then we can kind of talk about the other stuff that we're saying about Paolo that I really don't agree with.
Yeah. I do want to hear about that. To your point, I do agree with you. I think. When you look at what Paolo's done for Orlando, I think it's almost bigger than what's on the court. And I will give some credit to Franz there as well. Like, he stepped up big. That's their team. Like, that the Magic is their team. Those are the lead dogs, and rightfully so. But Paolo is the one, right? Like, and Franz could be number 2. He could be a strong number 2. But Paolo is the one. And I think he's changed the culture here, bro. Like, you see guys like Tyus Jones coming and joining this offseason. Obviously, you have the Duke brotherhood, but you don't just sign with a team that you don't think you're going to fit and contribute to well. So I think he's building that type of culture there. You've seen the Magic start to get really aggressive. They tried KCP last offseason, and while it didn't work out, traded the next offseason, fine, they move on. Everybody, not everybody. Denver didn't, obviously. A lot of teams wanted KCP last offseason. Orlando went out, spent the big money to bring
Yeah.
him in. They thought it was going to help. It seemed like a good fit. Didn't work out. Turn the page, you get Desmond Bane. They continue the aggressiveness to add around Paolo. And the biggest thing for me, bro, because you make great points. He started out hot last season. I think he went down, and then Franz came back, and Franz was hot as hell when he came back. And then as the season went on, just didn't look right until the playoffs. That's when Paolo turned it up again in a series against the Boston Celtics, which obviously just didn't have enough ammunition to compete with them fully. But you look at Paolo, man, in the postseason, he went from in the regular season, he was averaging basically 26 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, about 5 assists per game. He was shooting 45, 32, 73 splits. You get to the postseason, this is why you give him the money, because he's a playoff riser. And he got to 29.4 points per game, approaching 30 points per game against the Celtics, approaching 8.5 rebounds, approaching 5 assists once again. And then the shooting splits, 44% from the three-point line, and then 66, could be better from the free throw line, but nonetheless, playoff riser. The production went up, the focus went up, and you can just see it when he's playing. He has those moments where he takes over games. They just need it to add the pieces around him, and I think they're starting to do that, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. They brought in Desmond Bane. That's what they kind of struggled at last season, was on the offensive side of things. Defensive, they was there. So
spacing the floor, spacing the floor
They
around him is going to be key.
They need some floor spaces. But no, I mean, I agree, bro. You had some great points. You know, everything I agree with for sure. But about the topic that's been kind of going on the past couple of days about Paulo, man, I don't like the disrespect that he's getting. Like, basically, it's more so like J-Dub. So I seen one thing. It was like this, you know, the start, bench, and cut thing that they do on like X.
Yeah.
So it was J-Dub, Paolo, and then Scotty Barnes in it. Okay, so like you would think that
Where
for the
is this
most
going?
part, you would think that for the most part that Paolo would, you know, easily be a starter. But
Yeah.
no, like they saying start J-Dub, bench Paolo, then cut Scotty, and then I'm like, bro, what are we talking about here? Like, yeah, and this is no knock on J-Dub, bro, one heck of a player, but bro, J-Dub is not the one that's getting like most of the attention on that team. Like
Right.
they focus on SGA. Paulo is the primary guy for the Magic, so they're focusing in on him. So just imagine if guys were to be laser locked in on stopping J Dub than SGA. It would be a different ball game. Like he wouldn't just get off the way that he does. Like no disrespect, he has nice game. He's a nice talent.
Yeah.
But nah, bro, like you're not finna make believe that
No.
J Dub is better than Paulo. And then it's some more stuff that just getting disrespectful, bro. Like about the contract extension, saying that he's not worthy of that, saying that J Dub is better. It's just a lot of nonsense going out there.
That's interesting, man. It just leads me to think, like, what do you have to do as an Orlando Magic player to earn that contract in the, you know, in the basketball fans' eyes, like the average basketball fans' eyes? That is just ridiculous. That's ridiculous with J-Dub, bro.
It is, though.
Put J-Dub on the Magic and see if they even. I'm not gonna say they wouldn't make the playoffs, but what were they last year to play the Celtics? Were they the 5 seed or the 6 seed?
They were like the 7 seed, right?
7 seed. They were in the play-in tournament, so they did fall. But so I'm not going. Okay, I won't take it that far. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a lot of injuries involved too with that, man. So.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs went out late. You had Paolo in and out. No, I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely crazy. I think J-Dub is a hell of a player. I think he plays like all out effort. I think he's a great effort guy. And it's not to say he doesn't have skill. I think he is skilled. Yeah, but like he's not like this like elite shooter. Like he gets to the rack, and to your point, there's a lot of attention on SGA. There's a lot of floor spacing for that team with the guys that play around him, like Chet, like Dort, right, who is just hitting everything in the postseason. He has great passing around him. He's a good player. He's an all-star. He's not Paolo.
Man, I just thought of it. That's what it was. The other thing was like, who would you rather build your team around, Paolo or J-Dub? Man, when I read
that's
I'm like,
crazy.
What are we talking about here, bro? seriously, like, and you like a lot of people saying Jada, bro. Come on now. Paulo is obviously the best person to build your team around. He's 6'10", a point forward. You know, he's gotten better shooting the ball. Like, come on, man. What are we
That's
talking about?
crazy, bro. Paulo, since he entered the league, I just had to check. 20 points per game is rookie season. 22, basically 23 points per game is his sophomore
Second,
year.
here, second.
And then 26 points per game third year, and he gets the extension. Like, what are we
Yeah,
talking about, bro?
it is
Like,
ridiculous, bro.
that is insanity. And it's funny that you bring that to the table for me because I came to the table with the thought of like how many players in the NBA are actually how many players in the NBA would you truly take over Paolo at this point in all of the players' respective careers, right?
Right.
And I'll throw this to you. I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I stopped at 10, and I just to myself, I just thought probably top 15 for me, Paulo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll list the 10 that I have, and you tell me if you disagree with any of them. SGA, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic, fairly obviously. Giannis, obviously. And Edwards. I think that's obvious, like with the success he's had in the postseason,
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
West.
He give him that nod. Yeah.
It's close though. Like I saw you thinking about it. Like I know, I feel you. I do. Steph, I'm giving Steph the nod, obviously here. I'm still giving KD Bron the nod.
Okay.
Tatum, I'm giving him the
Yeah.
nod. I'm giving
Yeah,
him the
because
nod.
I was gonna say, bro. You know, you said this earlier in our group chat, bro. Like, yeah, you said that earlier, bro. Like,
Because Paolo was having some games against the Orlando Magic while Tatum is just, or against the Boston Celtics, while Tatum is just getting carried by like Derek White.
come
You know
on,
what I mean? Like that's what I'm
come
sitting here
on,
watching, and
bro.
I'm like, is Paolo better? Like I don't know. Like, and then Tatum pops off for a 40-point game, right? And that's what he does, and that's what he
Yeah,
can do.
yeah. He likes me.
So
I talk shit about him. So
I
keep
give it to
talking.
Tatum.
Yeah,
These two
keep
are
talking.
interesting, bro. Tyrese Halliburton.
Um,
That's
I
tough.
pro- I don't know about that one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think like I'm a big Halliburton fan, but hmm,
D-Rab says Hallie.
is he better than P5?
Like better? I don't think he's better, but to build your team around.
To build a team around.
Around though. Build your team around? I don't know, man. That's tough.
Yeah,
It's
that's
tough.
kind of
Halliburton's
hard,
a
bro.
complex player. He's a weird player.
I think I'm gonna have to go Paulo on that, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
So D-Rab said, did he show enough in this run, multiple game winning shots in a mean playoff run?
I mean, he did, but still give me Paulo. You know, if I had to build my team around the 6'10" point forward, you know, I'm doing that.
Yeah. No, I do feel you.
So what's the last person you
The
guys
other
said?
one was Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I was just gonna say Brunson. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I
So did,
forgetting anybody off the
so
top
did
of
you
your head?
did you say Luca? Did you say AD?
Oh my God, yeah, Luca. I forgot about Luca. Luca's in there. That's why I said top 15 because yeah,
Yeah.
Luca. I knew I was
Yeah.
forgetting somebody. So yeah, Luca. AD, it's close for me, man. Just because of the injury history. That's the only
Yeah.
reason.
Did you say Joel Embiid? But
I did
yeah.
not. I would take Paolo over Joel at this point, man.
Okay, that's fair. I ain't
Maybe
mad at
it's
that.
hard to say when they're on the court, but I'm taking Paolo on the court over Joel. Period. That's just what it is.
Okay, that's a bet then. Joel Embiid say you got something to say about that.
I think these guys like Wimby, I think Cade, I think we can talk about Chet now, right? Like I don't think Chet is touching Paolo, but I think these guys are on the brink. I think these guys are all in similar areas. I would agree with this. Like Cade is close. Wemby is hella talented. It's just hard to argue with that. But
Yeah,
Cade Cunningham is a good one. I do like that one. He had a
yeah,
breakout
yeah.
season last year.
Yeah, his ceiling is so high, bro.
breakout. I don't even know if it was a breakout season. It's not like his other seasons have been bad. It's not like that. He just had a hell of a season last year with Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think top 15. That's where I'd probably have Paolo right now.
You take him over Donovan Mitchell?
Nah, no, not right now, not yet. Yeah. This man said Tobias. We don't speak like that on here, bro.
Bro. Oh my God.
Definitely not J-Dub. Kawhi's another guy. Kawhi's another guy you could throw in there. Injury history. I don't know, man.
Yeah. But nah, man, this is how this whole conversation started. I hope AI Clips get some good ones of this, bro, because this would be a good topic to post on TikTok. I gotta lie.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes,
AI,
sir.
if you hear this, please do your job. But nah, man, shifting gears over to LeBron. LeBron too.
LeBron too.
Le Cap, Le Taco. But no, there's been a lot of talks going on out here, man, about LeBron potentially going to Dallas. I mean, like, how can you see that working though? Like via trade, who would they have to give up to even? Because he make like 50 million. So, I mean, you're not trading AD in that trade. No. That makes no sense. You're not trading Kyrie neither, though. I don't think that makes sense.
No, I think the goal is to get him there with Kyrie and AD, right? Two players he won championships with.
Clay too? Would you keep in Clay?
Clay, the thing is, what does an offer look like? Like, is Clay enough? You know what I mean? Like, is Clay enough?
I got you. I'm finna pull up a trade right quick.
They probably want Cooper Flag.
That would be nuts.
That would be insanity. I think Nico Harrison would have to be fired at that point.
Damn, I should have bookmarked. I had seen somebody make a trade, bro. It was like
D-Rab says Bron going to Cleveland.
I got some thoughts on that too.
That one is a little more realistic, in my opinion.
It would have to be like DJ Washington. He makes like 15. Probably Daniel Gafford too. He makes like 13. And who else got like a big salary on the team? It has to be Clay, unfortunately.
Caleb Martin, maybe he throw him in it. I think
it has to be
on like a 7 or 8 million per year. D'Angelo Russell's on there.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be a trade package sitting around PJ Washington, Gafford, and draft capital.
Yeah. Do you like that for Dallas specifically?
Yes. I mean, just imagine like Cooper Flag learning from AD, Bron, Clay, like Kyrie. Like, oh my God, bro.
It would be crazy. Yeah.
That would be nuts, bro.
Crazy nostalgia.
And then on top of that, like he's competing at the highest level while he's still figuring it out. That is just a scary sight. Like,
yeah. No, I feel that. If you could like somehow bring Bron in and not have to part ways with obviously AD, Kyrie, and then Cooper Flag, I think those would be my untouchables. Mm-hmm. Anything else, talk to me. You know what I mean? Like we can make it work.
Picks and all, just get it done. But no, though. But I feel like Dallas would be a good fit. And to the D-Rap point, I was going to get to this. I think Cleveland, bro. Like to me, if LeBron want to go to Cleveland, it makes too much sense. The reason I say that is because we're trying to win another championship, bro. Cleveland is the place to go because the East is wide open next season. Like, being in the lower Western Conference, bro, there's no guarantee that you're going to even make the play-in tournament. That's just how stacked it is over here. No disrespect to your Eastern Conference.
The
East, the East, bro. To the East, I think LeBron got a good chance, like, to get another championship if he go to Cleveland because it'll be him, Mobley, and Mitchell because I'm pretty sure you're probably going to have to give up Allen and maybe Garland to get him, but I'd do that if I'm Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a hell of a swap for the Lakers too, though. Honestly, like
it is.
Just getting Garland alone, and then I mean, if you throw in Jared Allen, I mean, obviously they've been searching for a center. They got DeAndre Ayton, but
maybe they throw Ayton in the deal to send to Cleveland. You know.
Ayton and Mobley, that's interesting. But I think LeBron is exactly what that team's missing, like a swing man, right? A swing forward. Yeah. And I do agree, D-Rab. It's something I'm sure the league would love it. LeBron going back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
What do you think? Go ahead. Go
Did
ahead.
you see what LeBron said on the 4th of July, bro? He was doing like a workout down there in Cleveland, and they had posted on social media. And he was like, "Bro, y'all thinking about this too hard. Go enjoy your fourth or something like that." But I said he should know better. You know how social media is, bro.
I
Like,
saw something like he told Bronny to not like worry about his future. Something like that. Like, don't worry about it. I think he meant it in the better way, but it's just funny how it's getting turned into a joke. Like, don't worry about where I'm going. But from like LeBron's perspective, are you cool with like chilling in LA? Like, is it like if you don't get traded, like, are you cool with that? Like with what they got going on there?
I'm gonna be honest though, like LeBron at this stage of his career, bro, it's all about winning, nothing else.
Yeah,
And it's like I like them getting Aiden. That's what they needed. They got Luca. It's not like the Lakers are just far off from winning the championship though. Like they have pieces over them. It's just that do they have enough to get over the hump? That's what it comes down to. To me, they bench still sucks. You know, they didn't
yeah,
address that at all so far. So I just feel like him going to a place like Cleveland, if they give up Garland and Allen, they still going to be good because you got Mobley, Mitchell, you got Lonzo now.
yeah,
You still got some nice bench pieces, DeAndre Hunter.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. To your point, I mean, what the starting lineup? You could go. You would have to figure out the point guard because what they lost
I go
Ty Jerome as
Lonzo.
well.
I
Who?
go Lonzo.
Lonzo, yeah, you're right. They traded for Lonzo. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So you'd have Lonzo, D. Mitch. You could go DeAndre
Brian.
Hunter, Braun,
DeAndre
and
Hunter, Brian
Mobley.
Mobley. Yep. Mhm.
It's nasty lineup for sure.
But getting off the bench, you still got some solid players. You got Sam Merrill. Um, that's sad to figure it out, but it'll be solid though.
Yeah, no, I do ultimately agree with you. Let me ask you this: what's more likely, Giannis being moved or LeBron?
That's a good question. Nice way to put me on blast right here. I'm gonna have to go. I think Giannis. I ain't gonna lie. Like even him getting Miles Turner, I think it'll probably. I don't just see the Lakers really trading LeBron for real.
Nah, I
So
feel
yeah,
that. I feel that.
yeah.
And the interesting thing with LeBron, I think, is he has the no trade clause, I believe. So he kind
Yeah.
of controls that
Um,
destiny.
only two players in the league got that. Can you guess the other one?
I can. I know who it is. That man Bradley Beal, dog. It
Ridiculous.
don't make no sense.
Shout out his agent though. And he making 60 million a
Don't
year.
make no sense. The Wizards, man, they gave him that job. Did he get that contract from the Wizards, or did he get that once he got to Phoenix?
No, he got them in Washington, bro. He
Okay,
had
that's
like a
what I
two
thought.
year stretch where he averaged like 30, and they
I wanted
just
him on the Sixers, bro.
he was close to coming to Golden State too, but no, they paid that dude, bro.
Mm.
Like, he got the
Do
bag,
you
60 million a year.
do you think he can bounce back in a on another team? Do you think he could have
Yeah,
a sort of bounce back?
I don't think Bradley Beal is washed by any means. I just feel like he don't fit on that team, bro. Just think
Horrible
about
fit.
it. He still averaged 17 last year, and he averaged 18 this year. Like,
That's a
just
good point.
imagine. And by the way, he didn't really get a lot of shots up. So just imagine if
Yeah,
he were to get like 15, 16 shots, he's going to average like 22 points, maybe 23. So
yeah.
he's definitely not washed by any means. It's just that he's not worth 60 million. Like, he's still a scorer.
I feel
You
like
know,
D Book and his skill sets just like overlap. Like it's just not a good fit between
and it's the
those
same
two.
thing with when Katie was like you have two guys that loves playing on the ball. Like they'll play
Yeah,
off the ball, but then you
yeah.
break in Bradley Bill, who's an on the ball type of player. It just makes no sense to me. So
Nah, I completely agree with you, my man. You have, I believe, we got one more segment to
yes, sir.
close the
Yeah,
show out.
yeah. We got a segment to close show out. So AI, if you listening, please record this because we're gonna need this to go through very well.
You just
But
gotta
no,
talk to the
man.
robots.
Yeah, but no, bro. Like the name of this segment is "Who You Got." We will be doing this like pretty much every week moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun. So who you got? Kyrie Irving at his peak versus D Rose, the MVP version. Speed versus skill. First to seven, one dribble max. Can Kyrie finesse peak D Rose? Who you got, Scotty?
Are you asking me in those categories, or are you just saying overall, like in their
Overall, like
peaks, who's winning?
overall, 1-on-1, first to seven, who you got?
First to seven. It's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy.
Think
That's a
wisely,
that's a
bro.
crazy question because I'm sitting here thinking at first. I'll be honest. First reaction, first thought says D Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Size, physicality, athleticism. I feel like he would be able to power through Kyrie,
Mm-hmm.
but if Kyrie gets the ball first, how are you stopping him from scoring with that handle, bro? So it's a very very
It
tough
is though.
tough conversation. Which year was D Rose MVP year? If you know off the top of your
2011.
head,
2011.
2011. Okay, so 25, 4 and 7. This is 1-on-1 though. This isn't like consider
Yeah.
given
This
what you give
all
to your
that.
team.
Yeah.
All
All
that's
that
out
out
the
the book,
door.
bro. Yeah, this is 1-on-1. All of that out the book. This is 1v1. Who you got? First and
I
second.
love
One dribble max, by the way. First and
one
second.
dribble max, one dribble max. So that takes away Kyrie's handle a little bit. I'm gonna go D Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go D Rose. Physicality, one dribble. One dribble though, that's tough though, because like that
Yeah.
means one dribble. If that dribble is not getting you to the rim, it probably favors Kyrie, the better shooter.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I'm sticking with the brotherhood. I'm gonna go with Kyrie Irving as my final answer. I'm gonna go
I
with the
agree.
shooting.
I agree, bro. It took you long enough to answer the question, man. Nah, I agree though, bro. See, that's the thing you gotta listen to, like one dribble max, bro. I'm sorry though. If Kyrie getting the ball first, one dribble max, ain't no way Derrick Rose stopping him, bro. Like
Yeah,
all it takes is a little separation, bro. He's gonna knock it down. He's the better shooter to your point, mid range, three
yeah.
pointer, whatever the case may be. So I'm definitely taking Kyrie Irving. He's definitely going to finesse peak D Rose in that.
Take the one dribble out.
Now one dribble, that's where it kind of gets interesting. I think I may get a nod to D Rose on that. I'm sorry, because
Yeah.
he's gonna get to the rim like all day, every day on Kyrie, bro. Like, and he could say the same, but nah, give me D Rose, bro.
Oh man, Marshawn Lynch hating on the brotherhood. Hey, we produce NBA talent. But nah, no, the if you take the one dribble out, it's just that you give Kyrie the handle too. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
it's what makes it tough. But yeah, I think D Rose's physicality, if he gets in the paint, you're not stopping him.
yeah.
MVP season, you're not stopping that, brother.
Nah.
He was playing with like some magic. Like he had some sense of like magic around him, like an aura. That was just kind of majestic, yo. Like I don't know. There was something about that 2011 season for him. But shout out to D Rose. He retired that was this off season, right?
I think last year.
Really? All right. I thought it was a minute ago. I couldn't remember if it was before the playoffs, but maybe it was last year. To your point, so yeah. Shout out D Rose. Enjoy retirement. Kyrie. We'll see how he returns from the injury. Man,
So
might be headed
that's
to retirement himself.
yeah, but no, that's a good one, man. We're gonna try to do that like every week though.
Yes,
But
sir.
no, man, that's pretty much it for the pod, man. Shout out to all you guys that tuned in and tapped in with us as always. My guy D Rab and Marshawn, the real day ones, they always stopping by. So shout out to those guys. And yeah, man, make sure you guys follow my guy at Scotty John on X as well as myself at Arturo 30111. Make sure you guys follow the TikTok page at NBA to the Galaxy Pod, as well as the YouTube channel to the Galaxy Pod. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn your notifications on so you won't miss any more of this great content moving forward. And we'll try to be back here again probably like next week unless something crazy
Yeah.
happens by the end of the week. But
Yeah,
nah,
unless
that's
Giannis is traded or LeBron or something.
yeah.
We got
Yeah,
summer league this weekend though.
it's the off season, so we got to kind of take it slow. We don't want to
Maneuver.
get all the content at one time. But no, man, that's pretty much it, man. Make sure you guys catch us on the next one. And with that being said, we out. Peace.
Peace, everybody.